Well, I think probably the best advice is that they need to be there now. That's the first thing. They are already in a situation where they have competition using their broadband to deliver service. And so it's just so important that they get their foot in the water as well. I actually think it could be maybe even worse than that, because the interesting thing about video is that it's something that's very personal to consumers. And what they're looking for is a very customized experience, which they can't get through traditional pay TV services today, but which over-the-top services can absolutely deliver. And because of that, what we're seeing is that consumers are ready, willing, and able to take these sorts of customized services. So yeah, I would wholeheartedly agree with that. Well, the interesting thing is the most successful service, Netflix, with the streaming service, this is an augmentation service. It's not a replacement service. When we survey consumers, they are not replacing their pay TV service. They are using it as an augmentation service. So what you want to do with the augmentation service is you want to find a wedge, find issues and content that consumers can't get through their traditional pay TV, package that up and deliver that to them on broadband, and you will find that they will value it. Multi-screen is probably the biggest trend. What's very clear, consumers tell us time and again in our surveys that they want access to their content on pretty much every single device that they have. So that's one of the first trends. The second trend is a much more interesting one and helps deliver the first, and that is the role of applications and data in the entertainment experience. It is not just a video experience anymore. To deliver a truly engaging experience for customers, you have to take that content and deliver it with metadata about the content in an engaging application that consumers feel comfortable using. I think search, certainly with the release of Google TV, there's been a lot of emphasis on search. I think it's overblown. I think it answers only one thing, and that is, what should I watch right now? Discovery is a much more important facet of how we go about finding things that we want to watch. And that is something that we're not doing a very good job with right now. Pay TV services with their guides are not doing a very good job helping consumers. But there are some great tools out there like social media and recommendation that really work. So, for example, we asked Facebook users how many of them had actually followed through and not just watched media on a recommendation of a friend, but how many had actually purchased. 20% said that they had purchased something, rented something in the last month. A very powerful tool, and a tool which is perfect for aiding in discovery. Well, you see very similar type patterns in recommendations as well. So we looked at that. We asked consumers how affected they were by the Amazon.com type recommendations, and equally as effective, in the 20% range, for people having purchased additional books, films, music. So two very powerful techniques.
Okay. So to sum up, having a social design as part of your IPTV service is something carriers should look at?
Goodness, yes. It's a very important part. But I will say, don't fall into the trap of thinking that what you have to do is provide Facebook on your TV service. That's not what I'm saying, and that's not what consumers I think want.
What do you recommend?
What they want is this to be implicit in the platform. So if somebody recommends something to me on a social site, make it easy for me to remember that recommendation within your service. So connect to Facebook, but don't necessarily provide a full Facebook experience, and allow me to share. Let me easily post on my Facebook that there's something I really like, because your own customers will help sell your service. If people see that they can get great content through your service through Facebook, that's a great tool for you to help recruit new subscribers to it. It's absolutely fundamental to the web and internet world. It is a basic component of anything that you do in that sphere. It is very important that you be able to measure. The days of us relying on people like Nielsen to estimate what people are watching, these are fading. There is no excuse for us not knowing accurately with great detail and demographic profiling and everything else about what people are watching, doing in this new connected world. Certainly there are some very serious privacy issues, but I just ask people to look at what's going on online with Facebook. You know, Facebook is mining the information. There are certain safeguards in place which they are regularly challenged on. But, you know, consumers in a Facebook environment are providing tons of personal information freely and openly. Create an environment where your customer is comfortable doing that too. So you don't have to be covert about this. You be open and let them share. Yeah, make it permission-based. And provided you use that information for good, that is, you give them a great service because of it, a more customized service, then you'll be fine. Well, yeah, I think probably the only other point for operators is get in the game. It's just really, really important. The world is changing. It will change on your broadband connection anyway. Get in the game and play in that space too.